that, and they built an app for it. Please welcome Mernie Sanders with the app Scrummy.
Thanks, Alice. Hi, everyone. We're Mernie Sanders. So we started our 2-week project deciding what we wanted to create by brainstorming lots and lots of ideas. And the one idea that we all agreed on, or the one problem we all agreed on that needed solving, was when we were trying to find a street food market to attend, we couldn't find all the relevant information in one place. So from that, Scrummy was born. So what is Scrummy and how does it solve this problem? So Scrummy is a street food market finder. It takes your current location and shows it on a map, centers you on a map, and displays all the local markets in your area. Each market has a really detailed page, which includes the opening hours, a map with a route with the shortest walking distance, description, images. If a user stumbles upon a market, they can use the add market feature. If a user has a market in mind, so say they want to go to Borough Market, but they're not sure whether it's open or not, they can use our search feature to find out that information. There's lots more features and the possibilities are endless. So you never have to spend a weekend street foodless or scrummyless again.
So we have a quick demo of our app as seen on an iPhone. So when you open the app, you'll start with a nice home screen and it will show you all of the markets in your area with nice little avocados. You can click on each avocado to see which market it is and see more information. We've got some pictures, a nice description, opening hours, a map of how to get there and how long it will take you, as well as their socials. If you suddenly stumble across a market, you may want to add it into the market yourself. So you can add your own market information with a name and it will take your current location and add that into our market database. So we've got crowdsourcing of information. That will then, once you've refreshed the app, show you the local market as well as a nice little avocado of the market you just created. What if you already know about your market and you know it's not in your area? You may want to go and search. So we're going to type in Borough Market and go find out some information. I might want to pop down there tomorrow morning. So let me go see if it's open and off we go. So this is all of the markets we've currently got on there and our details of all of our information.
So in terms of the planning and teamwork over the project, we basically had big plans at the start of this process. We wanted to kind of change the game of finding food markets. As you can see for the pictures, we kind of did the kind of brainstorming and then picked out the ones that we felt were kind of achievable and mostly kind of important, and then went for those. We then used Figma to basically plan our screens and how it would look, so we had a clear idea of kind of what we were going towards for the end product. We also used Trello, which is on the top right there, to basically plan our sprints. So everyone was kind of assigned a role in the team, and then at the end of every kind of sprint, which is every 2 days, we checked in, or actually at the end of every day, we checked in to see how everyone was kind of feeling via a emoji or a suitable GIF, which we loved. And then my personal favorite, because I pushed it on everyone, a daily dance class every morning, as you can see in the bottom right there. Some questionable dance moves from everyone. And that was basically to kind of just boost morale really and get everyone moving. And then we also kind of had an hour after lunch every day where we had an optional time to basically kind of go in, kind of add some more to our knowledge in terms of studying and stuff like that. So yeah.
So this is our MERN stack. We chose MongoDB as our database to store the market data, as it was light, flexible, and easy to understand, considering we had a short amount of time and a lot of technology to get used to. As MongoDB is a non-relational database, we used Mongoose so we could add a schema to make adding and extracting data more easy. And we used it with Express, React, and Node.js. Our app was best suited to being on mobile as we wanted it to be easy to use on the go and not have to be reached through a web browser. We used React Native as our front end as it builds native apps for iOS and Android. And we also used multiple map APIs for getting the user's current location, mapping routes, and displaying data. So our biggest issue was probably with stabbing in the dark versus self-led learning. None of us had experience building mobile apps or with React or React Native. So we found that we lacked clarity in how React Native actually worked, and this was hindering our progress. We realized we were trying to impose Ruby on Rails convention onto React Native framework. So we found that taking more time away from the code to self-learn was just as important as writing code. Once we started to do this often and use self-learning earlier when we faced an error we didn't understand, we actually overall started to make a lot more progress. And I'm going to pass on to Charlie to talk about the future for Scrummy.
So looking back at the last 2 weeks, what we've achieved, we thought we'd reflect on what we would do better if we did it again. And in terms of our process, we thought that initially we sort of just went straight in and started building our app without sort of any knowledge about the actual React Native framework or anything like that. So we thought a better way to do it next time would be build a basic notes app so we can actually understand the technology and transfer that knowledge into what we want to make, which leads on to sort of less stabbing, more asking for help earlier. So more of actually learning what it is, how we make it, as opposed to just going straight in for it. Also, we need to restructure the code focusing on a parent-child relationship for passing information. So at the moment, every component in our app makes a call to Google's API for directions so we can get the time. Whereas if we were actually paying Google for that, that would obviously be very expensive if we had more than one user. And also we didn't do much domain modeling, which led to quite a few problems in terms of planning out our database. We struggled quite a bit later on with fetching the information because we hadn't named everything accordingly. So there's a little bit of confusion in that. And in terms of the product, what we do next time, we'd add in a sign-in feature so that only certain people can update the information, whereas at the moment, anyone who has access to the app can. We thought we'd have 2 different types of users, a market manager and then a public user. So the market managers would be in charge of their own page, whereas the public can add a market, which leads on to having markets that are verified and unverified. So we could have a market manager could then verify the market definitely exists, so no one could be misled. And then also at the moment, our app pulls all the data from our database. So it's a little bit slow in terms of its performance. So we'd like to be able to paginate our data so you can only search within your local area initially just to speed things up. And thank you very much.